The schools for girls above grade 6 have been closed since the Taliban captured the government in Afghanistan. What is your advice to the Taliban leaders in this regard?
As you know, I had a meeting with the acting Minister of Interior on my second day here, and just this morning I had a meeting with Mullah Baradar. Alhamdulillah. The opening of secondary schools for girls was one of the key issues I discussed with both. I was very open about this matter, just as they were in their response to me. I cannot discuss the specifics of these meetings. However, I can say that after speaking with senior members of the IEA, that I am confident that schools for secondary girls will be opened shortly, inshallah. I do not need to give advice to the IEA. Their knowledge of Islam far exceeds my own. Although I am not an Afghan, nor do I have any daughters, I am an educator. I am passionate about equality of education, despite what my critics and the foreign media say. Anyone who knows me and truly understands me realize that there is no compromise for me here. Opening the school for secondary girls is essential. Also, as I am not an Afghan, I can never fully understand the entirety of this situation. However, I can understand the isolation that these girls are experiencing. I did spend 1,192 days in a cell. I would ask all those who support women's education to have faith at this time, and that we work together instead of bickering to promote this common value that we all have.
Do you see any shortcoming in the present government? Have you given any consultation for them?
Recognition by the international community is of importance to the Afghan people. Recognition is needed not only for the Afghan people, but to enable the international community to build upon the relationships which are already developed and developing as I speak. Recognition will facilitate the aid to people and should be seen as recognition of the country. I believe that several countries are in the process of formalizing this recognition. I call upon leaders of state to show Afghan people the respect they deserve. It is time to look to the future, and international recognition will provide a solid basis for this.
1 year of the Taliban government has completed. However, no country of the world has formally recognized their government so far. What is the main problem in this regard, according to you? What should the Taliban do to get formal recognition at the international level?
I have never made this demand of my government. The Morrison government of Australia abruptly closed the Australian embassy here in Kabul and withdrew all its staff in April 2021. This was just weeks after a visit by the then Minister of Foreign Affairs, Marise Payne, who gave no indication of this closure on her visit. In fact, Ms. Payne affirmed Australia's support for the Afghan people during her time in the country, knowing 5 days before her trip that the embassy would be closed. This abrupt closure was commented on at the time by Penny Wong, who is now the current Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Australian government has made promises to the Afghan people. In addition, it will be challenging to bring any suspects of war crimes to trial in Australia if there is no Australian presence on the ground here in Afghanistan to investigate these matters. The IEA would like Australia to return and opens its embassy. They have expressed this to the current government. It is my hope that the Prime Minister will reassess the current stance and act in the interest of the Afghan people, even if he is not in agreement with the policies of the IEA. The Australian government has had strained relationships with China, and Minister Wong is currently working at repairing this rift, trade with China being a key motivator. I asked the Minister to similarly reassess the situation in Afghanistan and the need for our diplomatic presence here. Motivation here being the promises that we have made Afghan people. I thank the Australian government for the $1 million which was given to Afghanistan after the devastating earthquakes earlier this year. I continue to hold hope for the return of some form of relationships to facilitate the future interaction needed. I pray that the Australian people will raise their voices for Afghanistan, which is facing a humanitarian crisis. Australians can help save lives here. This is the hard reality of the situation.
1 year of Taliban government has completed, however, no country of the world has formally recognized their government so far. What is the main problem in this regard? According to you, what should the Taliban do to get formal recognition at international level?
I have spoken on many occasions about my deep admiration and love for the country and the people of Afghanistan. As an educator, I would like to open a charity, and I have chosen the province of Zabul for two main reasons. Firstly, I myself come from a country area in Australia, and I know the challenges that country areas face regarding education. Secondly, Zabul was the last place my feet touched Afghan soil before my return. I was evacuated from this area. I saw firsthand the challenges the people of remote communities here face. It is my plan to establish a boarding school for girls in the province capital of Kalat. This school will educate students from remote areas of the province whom might otherwise not have the opportunity. I have already discussed this idea with senior members of the IEA, and they have given their full support to move forward with this venture. May Allah guide me. May He give me strength and insight so that this project can be a success. Amen.
Thank you for your time. We really appreciate your being here. We hope that we will enjoy spending your time in Afghanistan. Thank you again.
You're very welcome. It's an honor for me to come in and speak today. I'm very happy to speak about Afghanistan and what I'm seeing here on the ground, and I hope that this interview will help people to understand more about what is happening here in Afghanistan at the moment.